Pause. I was like, bro, it ain't even that serious.
I'm having a slow morning. I can't even front with you. Long week. It's been a long week.
This week is long by
It's
for me.
like crazy.
I thought you just told me yesterday that you felt like the week
Crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
but you see, you having a long week. I guess can it fly by and still be a long week?
Yeah, long week.
Nah, for me, if it flew by, it's not a long week. It's,
No, I'm having a long week because of this sinus infection that I'm dealing
okay.
with. Every night I'm just like trying not to suffocate.
I'm enjoying this weather. Say that.
hell,
No,
yeah.
I love the weather. I love the weather.
Started
Sure.
about to get crispy out
Yeah,
here.
we're already crispy.
Real
I'm
crispy.
Like, should I throw the jacket on?
Oh, no,
Nah,
it's
nah,
not,
it's still
bro.
warm for that. It's still warm for that.
You had a hoodie on here last week. What you talking about?
I had shorts on though.
Oh, okay.
So I was straight. It was good. Welcome. We're back, it's your boys. I'm Andre. We got Big Slap McGee. We got Big J Money.
Whoa. Whoa.
Big J Money. You gotta have a nickname if we introduce.
We'll try something new every time.
Okay, what we got today? What's the nickname for today?
You know what I call him? I'm gonna call him. I ain't gonna say it on TV.
We want you guys to give Jay a
Radio.
nickname.
Come on.
We want you guys in the comments to give Jay a nickname for the next show. So make sure you guys think real cleverly, and we'll have a name for Jay next week.
Don't talk too crazy.
Don't talk too crazy. Well, you'll have a new one every week, so.
Until something I like.
Yeah, okay. Until something sticks. But we're back at 3 Black Mics, and we want you guys to like, subscribe, share. It helps us, it supports us, and it makes us understand what you guys like, what you guys don't like, what you might be indifferent to. So we're making sure that we're giving you guys great content and a good conversation for you guys to join. How's everyone's week been? It's been quick, but you guys want to jump right into the topics, or you guys want to?
No, yeah.
You know,
We can jump right into it. I had a quick little week.
quick.
Quick little week.
Me too. It's crazy. We have the last game coming up this weekend. It's wild.
It
How you
is
guys feel
wild.
about that?
I feel like I'm fucking excited about it, honestly, too, because like at first it was just like last game of the season, and then I found out like we can actually like, you know, kill somebody's dreams.
Yeah.
So it's like there is like a little bit of like a, you know, we have something going into this game now instead of just playing to play. So yeah, if we could roll somebody's season, that'd be fun.
Word, that'd be crazy.
You saw Munich.
This-
Munich has to win by plus. They have to win by 150 points to go to playoffs. I don't even know why they put that out.
What?
Right.
They literally put like what every team has to do to make playoffs, and like it's a bunch of scenarios. And Munich's is they have to win their game on Saturday or Sunday.
Who they playing?
It don't matter. They
Mike.
150 points.
Shoot. Some of the games you was in, motherfucker,
This football right here. I like the part of the season where everybody kind of banged up and stuff, and then you got to go in. It's like playoff football. Like you got to go in and shit change. I don't know if y'all follow football, but shit changes. Like a lot of times you can have a team that didn't do well during the preseason or postseason or whatever, and they just come back and in November or whenever,
Yeah.
when everybody banged up after all those games, and they just find a way to do it.
yeah, whoever's playing the best at the end of the
Yeah,
season.
you
That's
just
what
figure it out.
I'm thinking about it now that you're saying that, because like, bro, if we were going to playoffs, like, I feel like I would have to find a way to like manage myself better and pace myself, because like I feel like you know, like load management and like how like,
The new
like
thing,
with,
yeah.
especially with like the NBA, but it's just like, bro, like this season is kind of taking a toll on my body, especially with missed 2 games.
Right.
I have some like tendonitis setting in too, and like we don't have a postseason, so I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna kick that gear for this last game, but like I don't know
I'll say this:
how I play it.
You
if
think
it
you
wasn't
did.
in the postseason, I
Right.
might like, you know.
if you're a younger player getting into your late 20s or like early 30s, you take care of your body different when you play all these games. Like a lot of times I would watch older football players growing up, and they would like start transferring from weight to resistance, and they would train lighter but more effective. So I remember when I was in Germany, I would play like 18 games and then go somewhere else and play and stuff. I wouldn't be like banged up because I would probably work out like maybe twice a week, but I wouldn't do anything crazy. I would just, everything was maintenance for me.
Right. So you're saying
Eating,
yeah.
like all that stuff was maintenance because I can go sit up under 225 right now and just do it 20 times and, like it's nothing. But I feel like, if you got strength like that, it's just maintaining. It's about maintaining.
Yeah.
Once you get to the professional level, I think,
Yeah.
at a certain age.
I will tell athletes too, is like one thing that kind of kills me is I feel like a lot of other athletes that are more so veterans kind of tell these younger athletes like, do this. And it's just like, bro, you shouldn't speak like that as a veteran athlete to somebody else, because for the most part I've kind of learned just like everybody is different. And
Yeah.
like one thing you have to do, like through your experience as a younger athlete, is experiment with things.
Mm-hmm.
Experiment
Agreed.
with working 4 times
Yeah.
a week this week, and like, yeah, that's not for me. Or just because sometimes I know people that need to work out every single day of the week going into a game. I know some people that work out once a week going into the game, and it's things that they've experimented with and things that work for them.
Yeah.
I know people that I like to do plyometrics. I had an athlete the other day. He was telling me like, hey, can you send me some plyometrics to do before the game? And I was like, why? I was like, why do you do that? Like, I just want to know, why do you do that? He was like, I had a coach that advised it to me, and I do it, and I feel great going into games. I've tried it without doing it, and I haven't felt like as like primed. And I was like, hey, if that's the case, then I'll send you some like lighter plyometrics to do for going into your games. But just experimenting with what works for you and what doesn't. Cause
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. Even when it comes to like in college, when they're saying you want to be bigger, stronger, faster, sometimes that's not beneficial to someone's body. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, when I was in school, I blew up to like 235, and it's like, why? My body didn't need that.
Yeah.
I could have been a lot more explosive, a lot more. I could have been faster too if I didn't have all that weight on me.
Yeah.
I was still moving, but sometimes that's not the best thing. Just put weight on the guy. No.
Yeah.
You have to see what really, benefits his body and how he's really gonna, be the best athlete.
Yeah, bro. That's what the NFL was telling me. Oh, you only 305. I don't know how well you will hold up at nose with, being that small. I'm like, I'm 305, but I'm built different.
Yeah.
Like I have a wide body. Like I could take it on double and triple team with it. Like it's nothing. So, pause. But but it's like I'm just like, sometimes I hate when people, and you always see this down south, somebody look at somebody, boy, you put on 15 pounds, it's like, then what?
Yeah.
He might be slower.
that shit low-key traumatized me, bro.
What?
Cause like literally growing up from high school to like college, or even still now, like people are like, how much you weigh? How much you weigh? And like, bro, I get like infuriated sometimes when people are like, damn, you lost weight? Like that hits my soul. I don't know why. I think it's just because like, especially like going at like in college, just like y'all said, it was just like, bro, I was 275 in college. And like when people say you like, damn, you lost weight, it just feels like you coming at me. Like
you coming at my masculinity?
Like not even my masculinity, but like my performance is gonna be less. Like they always do that here in Hungary. Like, oh Jay, how much you weigh? And it's just like, oh, you're lighter.
Yeah, but
and
most of those people don't know shit.
They don't.
They
and that's the
get
thing. I've
hurt
been playing
every
the game
year.
way
Yeah.
longer than you have. So it's just, and
Right.
that's the thing. It's just like, bro, I can play at fucking 200 pounds
Exactly.
and be fine. But I don't know why that shit kills me. And I just feel like I have to like, if somebody says that shit, I kind of like, damn. I'm like, damn.
I think it has to do with how we grew up, because like everybody wants to be bigger, stronger, faster. So the guy who's more brolic, more diesel, it's already by the eye test. You're like, oh, that guy must be a beast. He must be a better player than someone that's more frail.
Coaches wouldn't even ask you your name. They'll say, how much you weigh?
Exactly.
Hey, how much you weigh?
Exactly.
I'm like, nigga, well, first of all, my name's Jabray.
Exactly.
My name is Jabray Regan, and I weigh.
Yeah. That's another topic, because you was talking about is sports races.
The sports races?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that is connected to a certain type of mentality that we're not going to get into, because I know Tim's eyes are lighting up right now.
Thinking about that going
Nah.
I'll play that infamy again.
No, man. I just
No, it's the truth though.
I just-
It does go back to, it goes back to slavery. It goes back to the auctions.
Yeah.
How big is that bull? How tall is he? How much he weighs?
What do you say to people that kind of give you this argument and just like, but you get paid millions of dollars to do it? Because there is that like other side.
well because you watch it. That's why.
Yeah, it's
You
entertainment.
watch it, you
Yeah.
enjoy it. That's why. You grow up. It's culture. It's part of our culture. But I just feel like minus that part, it's the way that like I feel African American athletes in particular are looked at. You know, it's like we don't all come from single parent households. Like no matter how much money we have,
But
we
what
don't.
does that have to do with?
Because a lot of times they like, oh, like you remember Deion Sanders, like I'm not gonna recruit a so and so without a father, and people got crazy about it. But then like I remember I was in a situation where I had a coach was like, let me speak to your mom. I'm like, well, I have a father too. You can speak to him.
Okay.
So it's just like I mean,
But that's
I
coming.
observe a lot.
Yeah, but that's coming from a stereotype thing. That's coming from like an assumption.
An assumption. So like I said before in the first episode, like how somebody be like, well, if I ain't had football, I'd be dead or in jail. Like you wasn't no gangster.
Right.
You'll be
No, but
dead.
what I'm saying is as far as
You'll be dead or in jail.
what I'm saying is as far as like the lingo and the way that people speak and the way they communicate when it comes to athletes, the way that what they say to describe an athlete or how to understand an athlete, it's very
does
like
come off,
catalyst. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's what I'm telling you. And that's why
bro, from last game, I was off to the side, but I was listening. I was eavesdropping on your conversation. The dude came up to Tim and was like, "You're a big rascal." I was like, "That."
You talking about old head?
Yeah. The first thing that came to my mind was like, insert another word there.
But you got, but
What?
it's funny. It's
Rascal?
funny. It's funny that he said that because
Boy, that's crazy.
I feel like a lot of coaches go from it like it's like this coach's handbook that's sitting in this little palace and they have to go and open it because a lot of them say the same thing.
Yeah, it's true.
I've
It's
had
true.
coaches like jump on my back when I was being
Boy,
recruited.
hell no.
Yeah, right. Like when you big, you deal with a different type of recruiting because they always they grab you and like be massaging your arms. So you like, bro, massaging my arm. For, like I'm telling you,
That is like, what is it like? Like it's that romanticized type of thing. I don't like that at all.
Yes,
Yeah, it's like-
hypersexualized, hyper romantic.
I feel like when linemen are recruited,
It's not just linemen.
yeah,
It's not just linemen.
It's not linemen, but we all recruited different. We're all recruited different, bro. Like
Yeah.
I can't say what it's like to be recruited as a running back.
It does feel weird when the coach comes up, she grabs your arm, just like, damn, yeah, like we gonna be able to fill you out, like,
That shit.
and it's just like,
I am a man, Damon.
Yeah, I am a man, Damon. Cause like I understand like like they want you to be a great football player, and I guess I can see the side of like, but sometimes I guess for me it comes off as just like, bro, like.
I'm not I'm your little pet, like a toy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and all that popping on the ass. I ain't never been with that ever since I was a kid. I'm like, why you popping each other on the ass?
Ain't no coach hopping on my back.
So
No coach jumping on my back.
Good job.
That's low key. You never.
No.
Really?
Why?
This nigga did that all the time to me.
I
I had to tell somebody, chill out, bro.
ain't never popped it on the ass. Pause.
Grab?
He's a lie. I've never done that.
I have
I
never
don't pop
done
nobody
that.
on the ass.
The weirdest thing I've seen in football is dudes will do like the butt smack and then leave their hand there. It's like, bro,
You gotta get off.
you gotta pop and
I
get off.
only seen that from one person. Hey, we all know who that was if you played football with me in Mississippi.
Whoever that guy is with.
I said, hey, you popping his ass, let's go. And then, the thing that gave me football players, like the guys that are a little more toned or in shape, they come to football practice with like a half shirt on and just a girdle. I'm just like, bruh, what,
You
why?
got like Ezekiel Elliott, like
Yeah, bro, like, what is
Yeah.
that? I get it, but what is it?
it's like a little too like longest yard for me.
Looks zesty.
A little zesty. What's his name in the longest yard? Nigga stood up, said, "I can play quarterback."
Yeah, it ain't a little zesty. It's like, bro, come on now. Who you really trying to show out for? You want us to look at you and be like, "Oh, bro, you look good."
It's a little swag thing though. I don't do it, but
Nah.
you know, I like to speak up.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, it's too much.
It's too
Just
much.
take your shirt off, bro.
That nigga, the slap mad because he can't do it. You can't wear
I mean,
it.
at one
Can't
point,
wear a belly shirt.
I did wear one when I was a tight end and I got scratched right here. And I stopped doing
I
it.
got a
I was
scratch.
back when you had a six pack.
I ain't never had no six pack. Never. Never.
Are we as American football players from the USA? Should we assume us being the best players in
Yes.
the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we have our Super Bowl,
It's the world championship.
it's the world championship?
Yeah.
It should be the world championship?
It is
Yes.
the world championship.
What about basketball, the NBA? Should it be world championship?
Yeah.
At,
Yes.
At
They're
basketball?
world champions.
Yeah.
One thing too is like for
Watch
me, it's
the
like
Olympics.
it's the NBA, and we have the best players in the world. We attract the best players in the world because we have the most money.
Mhm.
And even if you wanted to say just like, first of all, there's no team that could be. I don't believe there's any team in the world, a team in Spain that can beat the world champion of that year. In like if you pick the Euro champion or whoever wins, like because I guess in
They have the Euro League.
they have the Euro League. Whoever's the champion of the Euro League, right, to play an NBA team, you don't stand a chance, right? The best thing you can do is like combine the rest of the world versus the USA, right? That's the best thing you can do to have like the best game, right? So if you put Luka,
And you still probably wouldn't have a chance because
Luka,
they would have a chance if you
LeBron.
if you put Luka and B,
LeBron.
no, LeBron's on USA.
On the
If you
World
put like
team,
a
on the
rest,
world team.
like the rest of the world
Yeah.
versus the USA, that would be a good game still.
Mhm.
but you gotta say
That would be a good game. But all of those players play in the NBA, so it's like, bro,
even in the Olympics, a lot of times the best players don't play in the Olympics.
exactly. I understand what he was saying. Like technically, like okay, it's not the world. It's it is technically it's USA and Canada because we got teams in Canada.
Mhm.
But like, yes, technically it's not the world. But like, when we're talking about with regards to like talent, it is the best players in the world.
Yeah, but then shouldn't the Super Bowl be?
I don't know why
Should-
Super Bowl doesn't say world.
It's a Super
Yeah.
Bowl,
Super
and
Bowl.
they do say world
They
champion
do
They say world champion.
Yeah.
because they are. It's bro. Football is light years away in America from any
Yeah, I would.
overseas.
Yeah, I would.
Like light years.
Light, bro.
We have-
They'll never catch up.
I played in the World Games and we played Team Germany with a bunch of has-beens. But we had a quarterback that was like 34, 35. We had some linebackers that was like 40. And
That's nice.
we lost by like a point. But
Mhm.
it's like, bro, you can pull a group of anybody from America
Yeah.
and play Team Germany and we have a chance. And we're not even talking about NFL players. It's just like Tim said, it's light years away.
We're not even like to my NFL, not even college players. That's the thing. It's just like there's a lot of guys who didn't go to college that are like that will come over here and ball. It's crazy.
They do it in baseball too.
That's
Yeah, baseball.
but that's why I look at the coaches. A lot of coaches in Europe, and when they recruit, and they looking at the guys, and they're like, "Oh, well, he didn't play in that, or he didn't play in this," and I'm like, "But he will still come over here and be a great player because you don't have anybody like that could play like that." And then you'll say, "Oh, well, this player played for Georgia Tech, and he's not that good." It's not that he's not good. It's just that whatever you're doing with him just doesn't fit, and he probably don't even care because of what's going on. So you never get a player from America, and he's a bad player. You got to look at the entire situation.
I don't know the landscape of basketball either, but like the landscape of sports in America is more competitive. The way
Yeah,
it's just laid out.
Life.
It's way more competitive.
Yeah.
It's
Sports is
more
life.
challenging. It's more competitive.
Mhm.
Like there's just like to get to play college basketball or college football. There's a it's not.
There's a circuit.
Yeah, and they find the best. They will find the best. And then to get to the NBA is just like a fucking challenge in of itself.
It's culture.
But don't you think that could be the same could be said for basketball in Europe versus like football in the States? There's a ton of talent. There's a ton of guys playing. The competition's big, and when you funnel all the talent into like the EuroLeague, for example, then you have to funnel it to the NBA. There's not many spots.
But just like I said earlier, it's just like in football, you can play football anywhere in Europe, and it just like I feel like it desensitizes the talent. Or basketball, you can play. There's like different levels of basketball. When in America, you go high school basketball, high school football. Your ass better be on your grind for 4 years.
Yeah.
If you go on your grind, you do good. You get 4 years of college. If you don't do what you need to do, within those 3 or 4 years, 2 years, you're not making it to the league.
Yeah.
The league, and it's over for you.
Yeah.
Go play in Europe.
Yeah.
So it's just like we're groomed. The competition is just like it's low barriers. It's like lower barriers of entry, and it's just like you have higher barriers of entry in countries like Europe. It feels like that whole like just like everybody can play.
Right.
We don't have that in
We
America.
don't have that in the States.
It's like
it's dog eat dog.
It's dog eat dog.
Yeah.
Which creates dogs.
And it was even worse when I was like real young because you would actually get cut on your team.
They don't
Like
do
middle
that.
school and stuff, they would have cuts.
They don't do
In
cuts
middle
anymore?
school, nah, my dad is an AD. He be having parents message.
Nah, they don't cut in high school. Everybody gets to play. That's why you got a B team and all that other stuff.
That's crazy.
You got a ninth grade team, you got JV.
Yeah, I'm saying.
They still cut.
They cut,
On
yeah,
JV
okay,
team.
they cut.
But they don't do it it's not as prominent anymore. These parents are messaging like, hey, my son.
My school didn't cut.
Oh, your school didn't make cuts?
It was pay for play. And they didn't cut.
Well, that's not, I mean, like, I feel like not across, like, all schools. I feel like it depends on the school.
Pay for play?
Population. Yeah, pay for play.
You pay like, I guess, $50 to the high school league or whatever.
Wow.
And that's how you play.
What was the population of the school, too? Because if it's a bigger school, like, they're not doing pay for play.
We had like 6,000-7,000, I think.
That's a big school. That's a big.
You had
The school-
7,000 and a pay for play?
Yeah, and the school didn't. They weren't able to have everybody like in the school, so that we had to get these little trailers put around the school.
Okay.
Because they built too many neighborhoods and stuff one year, and everybody moved in.
Yeah.
Cali
like
schools be like that
schools
sometimes, I think.
Yeah, we had trailers. We
Yeah.
had that many ones in there, like 8 or 10 trailers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got bad. It got bad, man.
Wow.
Like the ninth graders couldn't even enter the building of the school. Everybody had to stay outside and go to their little trailer classes.
Man.
It was crazy.
Do you think this statement made by Lyles about the NBA, obviously he has something against the NBA saying
His voice had cracked and everything.
yeah.
World champs! There was a world champs!
It's funny because like I've actually thought about this. Like, why? I think it was an NBA or a Super Bowl one year, and I was just like, world champions, but the USA is just one part of the world. You know
It's
what I'm
some,
saying?
I feel like it's just some cocky shit. We America too, and we are cocky. It's some cocky shit.
yeah.
Like,
World champions. Like,
we are. It's like
it's the world champion, but we're not having like a real world championship game.
somebody would die.
Let's make it happen.
Well, who you gonna do it
Let's
against?
make it happen.
You assemble the best European team.
Nigerians.
You have it would be the USA
They already
played.
versus the rest of the world.
Okay.
But that's the
They would get
Olympics.
smoked.
That's the Olympics.
The best NFL team
The best NFL team,
versus the rest of the
the
world.
rest of the world.
They're getting smoked.
So-
what do you
so-
want? What is this? What is this?
Maybe not.
So
Come
so
on,
look,
Dre, give
so
it.
look,
Maybe not. Maybe you got, we're seeing more Nigerians come to the forefront. Obviously, we already had Germans in the league a bunch of times.
Not
Polish
starting.
people. But just because you start doesn't mean that you might be the best player. You might have guys that's 2 or 3 deep that could.
but you know, a lot of those guys go to the league and get developed.
Okay, you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Okay,
Development.
let's extract the internationals, right, that are in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Make some
right.
type of world team, and then make it happen. I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun
For who?
for the viewers. For the viewers.
For niggas that's gambling on the game and for
Imagine
teams.
like guys like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed playing in a world game. It's just like, bruh, they ain't even got that type of passion for the game.
It's bad.
He is gonna beat them from the come out.
Because for me too, it's like, bro, I honestly say this, and I don't mean anything like, no, there's no malice behind it, but I do not think that, hot take, I don't think that any of these Europeans deserve chances to play in the league unless they play college or high school football. Because for me, it's like, bro, y'all have not played against the same competition that we had.
Right.
Y'all have not been groomed the same way we had. Y'all just getting an opportunity because like the international thing, like it's cool. But like, bro, like even like Bolland and Gagger that are now playing in the States is like, if they get a chance to play in the league, to me that's like they've earned that. They're playing high school football, they'll play college football. Like they've been groomed to like that American development system. But like a lot of these guys just like, what, you playing GFL?
Yeah, but I wouldn't take guys that are in the GFL. I wouldn't take guys that are playing in the ELF or whatever. No, I'm extracting all the international. Hold up.
What were we saying?
Oh, so with the NFL, with football, I don't want to take guys from the ELF or Germany and
No, I'm just saying in general, like a lot of these guys that you may be talking about that have these NFL opportunities, like what about these Nigerians that are playing in the league, or these players that are just like, bro, I don't genuinely believe that they deserve those opportunities if they were players that didn't play in college football.
Oh,
And
okay.
I understand what you're saying by that, because a lot of times when the NFL scouts come over here or they go anywhere, they're basically just looking for athletes.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have actual American football players who've been playing football since they were 8 years old, and they are good enough to go to the NFL, but they don't get those opportunities. The NFL would rather go find a storyline and say, okay,
Yeah.
let me try to turn this rugby player into an NFL player. You got over 100,000 running backs that want an opportunity.
That
deserve it.
Exactly.
Okay,
With the
but that's-
resume, but it's just
Nah,
like
but this
you
is
go
a-
and find something
It's a new
completely
point.
different. That doesn't work.
It's a new point.
It really isn't, because like
It's not.
it just like goes back to say that y'all niggas can't beat us.
It's not it. They're not trying to say that.
Well,
They're
that's
trying to
I feel
say
like
more
you're-
of like this.
You're
more
trying to
storyline.
assemble. You're trying to assemble a team that could beat the USA, right?
Yes.
And that's why what I'm saying, I'm backing up the statement that it just isn't gonna work, because I feel like the guys that you may be pulling, that maybe, oh yeah, like this Nigerian, he plays in the league, right? But he didn't even play college football.
But he's making it in the league.
He's a developmental player.
But he's making. But it's not just one guy. There's plenty of guys that are in the league right now that are international, that are from other parts of the world, or
Starting.
they're maybe not starting, but that's what I'm saying. That if you can take them, you can extract them from the NFL rosters, assemble the team, and then play a game to see like what's the disparity, like really what the difference could be.
I understand what
You
you're
know?
saying, but he's saying that if you didn't like come up through the ranks, you shouldn't have that opportunity. Somebody who came up through the ranks should have that opportunity.
Y'all should have
Instead
to
of
play.
giving it to I got a friend who told me the guys around him keep asking like, hey man, why didn't you make it to the league? But I'm like, this same person took 2 kickoffs back on Kentucky his freshman year. And I'm just like, you're asking him that, but tell them this. And the crazy thing for me is they think it's that easy, because you have these programs that are sending guys to the States in the, you know what I'm saying, pathway program, and what's the academy?
In London.
NFL
IMG.
IMG.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, that's fine, but you can't be a career football player. You played football 4 or 5 years in college, and let's say you did have a great career in college. Some of those guys don't even get a workout,
Yeah.
and it's like, come on, at least give them a workout.
Yeah, but that's because the competition already is extremely difficult. It's already extremely high. Like, this is like talking about a Fortune 500 company. Like, yes, there's 100,000 Asian applicants at MIT or from MIT that want to get into Google or something like that. But just the way that the society is structured, we have to only let 50 Asians and we have to do like 1, 2 blacks, 2 or 3 whites, because that's just we need that.
But now we're talking about
inclusivity.
talent.
It's
versus-
talent. It's talent.
We're talking about talent.
It's talent.
Talent versus.
They're not just letting anybody Joe Schmo into the NFL academy. They're not letting anybody just enter an
That's
NFL
what I
roster.
said.
Those guys have talent.
talent versus athleticism, or
Bro, get the
They have talent
get the rest of the world team to play the national championship college team first.
All right.
Do that.
That's
first.
what I'm saying.
Before you do NFL, if they can beat the national, okay.
My thing is this.
Because I don't think they can beat the national college champions. I know that.
My thing is this. Okay, yeah. So titles. We talk about cancel culture. We talk about titles. We talk about being politically correct or not politically correct. When you say world championship, that means world.
Yeah.
So I say prove it. Prove that you're the world champion. So make a game that would prove that you're the
who
world
won the
champion.
Olympics in basketball?
They don't always win the Olympics.
I'm saying who won it this year?
Majority of the time you win, but yeah.
Okay, but
Who won it this year?
I don't think there's
The last Olympics, who won
the USA.
so we the world champion?
right now they're world champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not talking about Olympics.
He's talking about the NBA.
He's talking about
the
NBA.
Yeah, I understand.
Because
That's what makes the team.
yeah,
That's
the
what
NBA
makes.
Finals team doesn't make the Olympic.
No, I'm saying like, and that goes to show even the best players are not on the Olympic team.
I see what you're saying. I see
Right.
what he's saying with the title and everything. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know if he's talking about. He didn't state. Are you talking about the title? If we're talking about the title. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
But are you talking about, or are you talking about talent?
we're
First
talking about
off-
title. We're talking about the title.
Okay,
First off,
conversation
bro,
over. You win. Got it.
You're in an individual sport.
He was a little bit too. He was a little bit too passionate to just be talking about title though.
He's in an
Like I
individual
understand,
sport.
like bro, like your gold medal, like that isn't any less. Like you don't lose any value of it. Like your gold medal is your gold medal. But like, bro, we talking about something totally different.
Yeah.
There is not an organization in America for just track athletes and just like y'all compete year round, only America. Like, cause I guarantee you, if America had its own track league that competed year round and it was the National Track League of America,
Yeah.
right? Or the National Track League, and it was just America, we would have enough money to where we'd be bringing the best
Spanish runners.
but we have Jamaican runners.
Yeah.
And they'd be in the National
Yeah.
Track League,
Mhm.
all right? And then it'd be the World Champion League.
Basically, that's what they do in college.
Well, yeah, I mean, they
The
do
college
a
teams, they
lot of
bring in a
sports. They
bunch
do a lot
of-
of sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, conversation over talent.
Yeah, it's talent. It's talent versus title. And
Talent
what matters?
versus title.
What matters the most?
Talent, check, title.
Not so
No.
much.
All right.
Cool. What else we got today? You wanted to talk about assets versus liabilities within
When it comes to like
people,
like
relationships.
relationships, period.
Ooh.
And I'm like, me personally, I feel like I'm an asset to people because
Talk your shit, Slut.
Talk your shit, slide.
I feel like anybody I come across, I try to uplift. Well, I don't care who it is, whether it be a bum or,
That nigga's not lying.
or just
That
anybody.
nigga's not
I
lying. That nigga
just
slapped the wall.
like to see people happy. And if I can do something for you, I do it. But
What made you think about this action, like assets versus liabilities? Like, what does it mean to you? Like, what?
well, I mean, in business, in friendships, relationships, I feel like there's too many people in this world that take these types of relationships for granted. And, when that person's gone or if that person, don't talk to you no more or in any situation, you always sitting there asking yourself why. And it was like, were you an asset or a liability in that person's life? Or was that person an asset or a liability to you? And I'm talking like in all facets. because I feel like it's too many times you let situations come where people are actual assets.
So you think people should go into relationships thinking or having this mind
Yeah.
At a certain age.
whether
yeah.
I'm an asset or liability in this relationship?
Yeah.
What makes someone a liability?
When they're bringing you down, when they every time you come across them, there's a problem, or they're just negative people. I feel like liabilities are people who will get you. So let's say somebody close to you, a cousin, and you're like, hey man, come over here, man, and slang this with me real quick. Woo 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 woo. He know you can get in trouble, but he like, man, come over here. Let's go do this right here. He a liability in your life. Like he's gonna put you in a bad position.
What about people that are kind of like right in between? They're not an asset, they're not a liability, they're just there.
Someone that they're not an asset and they're not a liability.
Yeah, because I feel like you can have people in your life. Not everybody's a fucking drug dealer.
Just like a
Like, not everybody like, hey, you
Yeah.
try to sling this rock. I feel like there's just people that are just like, they just there.
Yeah. Because not being an asset and not being a liability means that you have no type of influence.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like,
I'm doing right
especially at our
Yeah.
point in life, you have different friends. Like, what is it? I always say, like, especially like where I'm at in life now, I have like friends that are just like, because of circumstance, or like because of, we're in this, we work together in the same organization, or like, but like you have friends like that, and it's just like, y'all might be cool. He's not an asset. He's not really a liability, but y'all hang out. He's funny, right? And then
But you
have-
never know. Like I said,
That's it.
But you can. I feel like there can be that in between though. It's not always black and white, asset, liability.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes time. For example, this is a really good topic, and it really brought a lot of thoughts, or a lot of things that I've reflected on in the past to the forefront, because I didn't grow up with friends, like a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Like even when I say friend, it means a very strong thing to me because of just like how I was raised. Right? So throughout my life, throughout my recent years, like the past 10 years when I've been in Europe, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a different dynamic. I'm alone. I'm trying to meet people. So I've always not really referred to anyone as friends unless we like really kicked it a long time. We did things. We traveled. We talked. We text and we talk on the phone and stuff like this. But someone was telling me, I was sitting down with someone just recently, and they're just like, you have to give people time. You have to give people a chance. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't understand if they're an asset or liability until they show you if they're an asset or liability. So you should know.
Okay.
For me, I was always going into a situation and seeing whether they're going to be an asset or liability, like right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in some instances, it was a benefit, and in a lot of instances, though, it wasn't a benefit because I wasn't giving these people a chance. I'd be like, all right, we sitting down, we talking, blah, 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 blah. Can I use you for anything, or can you do anything for me? If not, then, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like.
it's a lot of times it's not even that. It's just more so like I feel like the majority of the people I've come across in Europe, I feel like are assets because I don't do a great job with like my communication with people, but that stems back to losing a close friend. But I feel like the people that I do come across and the people that I do talk to, even if I hit you up once every 4 months, I feel like all these people are assets because, anytime I hit somebody up who I hadn't talked to, we can have a conversation for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
We ain't really doing nothing for each other, but it's like passing information.
Yeah.
It's passing information. Like this is what like make people assets in your life. Just being able to like maybe take your day from here to here, or maybe give you an idea just randomly, or You know,
So yeah, so I mean, it could be.
they're not taking anything
It could
away.
be different. Yeah, it could be different definitions of what an asset could mean to somebody. You know.
Yeah, but I just feel like an asset is just somebody who adds to your life.
As anything.
They're not taking anything away. They just, you know.
I don't know, because that's the thing. Like, I have people, like, when I first got here, like, a lot of my friends were just, like, friends of, like, circumstance, where it's just, like, I was living in what so-called, like, import house, and the people that were coming in, it's not like people that I chose to or wanted to live with. They were just coming in,
Right.
and we were around each other on the daily. So it's like, yeah, if you're cool peoples, I'm going to befriend you. We hang out all the time. We have the same, like, schedule, et cetera, et cetera. You may be funny. Like, sometimes, I even think of it sometimes just like, well, like, he's not really doing anything in life, but like, he's like, I love going out and hanging out with him. Like, we have a great time when we go out. And that's like, you know, like, I'm obviously trying to be productive, but if I want like somebody to go out with and have a good time with, that's like, that's my guy for that. Or like, I know, like, you know, you may have like you may have an asset, you may have a friend that's just indifferent, he's cool to hang out with, just like, you know, it's fun to go out and party with him, and then you have like a liability.
And that liability is, it's like if I see you trying to be productive, and I'm like, hey man, Jay, come on man, let's go do this right here, man. Like, I'm a liability now because I know you're not trying to do that. I know you're trying to be productive right now. And if I'm coming to you trying to get you to do something where I know it's not going to help you, like sometimes I use myself as an example. Like, let's say if I'm training and I'm getting ready for the season, and I have a friend, and he knows, I'm like, hey, bro, I'm getting ready for the season. I can't go to the strip club or something. He like, nah, man, come on, man. It's just one day. Come on, man, bro. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, bro, I'm on a strict regimen. I can't do it, man. Come on, bro. Like, that's a liability.
Yeah, but that's your choice. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it depends.
It's your choice,
It's a
but
definition. Like, it's a definition spectrum, I guess. Like,
it's your choice. But then you got somebody else saying, hey, bro, hey man, get that shit, bro. Hey, you need some tips on something? Like, da 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 da. That's an asset.
yeah, but you could. So, are you saying that you should have both, or are you saying you shouldn't have liabilities?
Liability is
Because
I'm saying you shouldn't have, like, people in your life shouldn't be liabilities.
yeah, but that guy that was just saying, yo, come to the strip club. You're saying he's a liability only because you're trying to work out. But if you're not trying to work out, he's like, come to the strip club. He knows everybody at the club. He's an asset for the night.
Yeah, but if he your friend and you know you trying to, you know what I'm saying, get yourself together, then he's not gonna do that. Like, you got a friend and you know, like, you have an addiction. He ain't gonna bring that addiction to your doorstep and say, hey,
yeah,
man.
then that's a liability.
Exactly.
Of course.
So I'm saying, like, you got people in your life that are for you, and you got people in your life they're in your life, but they don't care. And I feel like, you know, the majority of the people, imports and stuff that I've come across, feel like I've tried to be an asset somewhat, you know, instead of just sitting there and watching them like, what is he doing, bro?
But
I try to talk to him like, hey, bro, like, what are you doing?
But to each his own. Beauty isn't in the eye of the beholder. Sometimes you have the best intentions to be an asset, and then that person on the receiving end or should be receiving end doesn't register you that way. You know what I'm saying? So that's also, I don't know.
But you still asset.
That's like,
You still at, because those same people will come back around when they get older and say, it's a lot of things that I told Jay like 5 years ago. And now that he's 5 years older, he'll be like, I see what you were saying.
yeah, but it takes
Because
him to
at
acknowledge. Yeah, it takes him
at
to
the
acknowledge.
time, you really don't see it, and it takes somebody else. It's like I told you, like growing up with 3 older brothers, it's like a lot of things that they would tell me, I wouldn't see until I got to that age. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
like he just wasn't talking.
I feel like that happens too, like when you're like 25, 26 plus, because like I feel like when you're younger, it's just like, I'm not gonna tell my 15 or 12-year-old son, like, is that friend an asset or a liability?
Yeah.
So you just got friends. Like,
Right.
even me for now, it's like my friends from like back home from like high school, college, is like, I never viewed them as
Nobody ever said that to you?
when I was in high school and college, I'm
Man,
sure.
my dad used to say that shit all the time. He'd
For
be
me,
like,
I was
birds
just
of a feather.
Well, it's just like, yeah, the birds of a feather thing, but it's just like, yes, obviously don't hang out with people that are fucking doing like illegal things, but like for the most part, it's just like, bro, those are forever and always my friends, whether
Right.
they're like, as long as they're not liabilities and when I go back home, they're not trying to get me in trouble, if they're not assets in my life, it's fine. Like I have like
Right.
an unbreakable bond with these
Right.
guys, but like now, I'm in my point in my life now where like, I'm not trying to form friendships for just the sake of like, I need another friend.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like you need to play a role in my life. I got enough friends.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like these people in your life are assets.
Now.
No, yeah.
Because I'm like,
But that's the thing, you
My
may
dad
have
always-
somebody
man,
that
ain't gonna be
comes
shit.
into your life as like a circumstance and it's just like he's always
He's playing. He's that in that role, or she is in that role.
well, not even that, but it's just like, okay, like let's say you have to have a roommate for your next job. It's just like, and you guys have the same schedule, y'all work together. Just like, he may not be an asset, he may not be a liability, but he's just like, and you may like still message him after, like, y'all may not be friends per se, but like, he didn't feel.
but like I said, when you have a lot, well, I feel like that shit's black and white.
It's not.
Mr. It can't
I feel like a liability is someone who takes away, who kind of like snatches some shit away from you, whether it be with words or
a liability can be someone who aggressively tries to take something away from you, but a
they
liability
don't even have to. It doesn't have to be aggressive.
Yeah, a liability could also just be like someone that you might be standing in a picture with that could mess up your company, that
I
could
feel
mess
like
up
you
your
may be
PR,
giving,
your
you may be
image.
giving people too much credit for that asset part too, because just like if somebody, I feel like you may be giving somebody the asset, saying he's an asset when he's just like indifferent. Just because he said something nice to you today, don't mean
Yeah, right. That's
he's
true
an asset.
too.
No, I mean like
Just because he's offering advice.
I mean, you have friends in relationships. I'm talking about business and all, and sometimes you have your assets, and sometimes you have they're your friend, but they're liabilities. And like you say friends with people, but you know, like it's like you know when people get famous and they say I love my homies, but I can't take them with me.
Okay.
And it's like, because I know that I'm trying to move away from this and they're stuck right here. So I gotta love them from a distance.
I feel like you're saying like the wild shit because it doesn't always have to be like. Not everybody I hang out with is selling drugs. And
But not everybody you
Yeah.
hang out with is your friend. I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about people that you have relationships with. Not people that you just like come across.
I don't want to call nobody out, but I feel like I know that I have friends that are just like, they not doing no like they not doing no special shit. They probably work a 9 to 5, but they're definitely not like dragging me down either.
No,
But
I ain't saying it has nothing to do with their
But
profession
that's what
or
I'm saying.
nothing
It's
like
not
that.
black and white.
I'm just saying like, even if it's somebody you can call to give you relationship advice, that's an asset.
But that same person that's doing drugs can call you. You can call and give you.
That's an asset.
So that's
He's
what
not
I'm
trying to
saying.
make you do the drugs. That's what I'm saying. If somebody trying to make you do some shit, they're a liability.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They could be both assets and liabilities. I guess you can say it's
I'm not gonna
convoluted.
call
Yeah.
an asset because he gave me a relationship advice. He's not listed down as an asset.
You could have talked to anybody about that relationship. But
Exactly.
you just talk to this person because they're an asset.
Oh, you said he calls to give me a relationship advice.
No. You're talking and you're asking that person, hey, what you think about this? That's an asset.
Ugh.
I think an asset is someone or something that you own, that you have, that brings value to yourself. Like
Exactly.
asset brings value to me.
They bring a value to you.
Right? But that value has to be shown. That value has to be. That person has to feel the same value or the same profit from the value that they've given me. That asset. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like individually, it's your choice whether you want to be an asset or a liability to a person.
It's just coming from different. It's coming from different angles.
I'm
It's
just
coming from
saying,
different angles.
like,
That's why I can't be black and white.
I'm just saying, I choose to try to be an asset when I have to be around people. I choose to if I'm around you, I want the mood to be light. I want the room to be happy. I want to just add that. if you're not feeling good, I want to be able to be like, give you a laugh.
So
That's an asset.
So you have a different definition of somebody who's an asset.
I guess I do.
Yeah, because someone who gives you advice and someone who makes you feel good, that could be a liability too. That could be a liability because now this person's giving me advice should be the wrong ass advice, and I'm taking this person's advice. And it's
Well, that's just bad advice. But at least
it's bad advice.
It's bad advice.
You a liability to give me
but
bad
at
advice.
least, but like
Or
I said, they're your friends. So
someone that makes you feel good all the damn time, like rubbing you down and hugging you up and shit
Paul,
like that.
I was talking about people in jail. People are rubbing you down.
They make you, feel. They make you feel comfortable. They make you feel complacent and stuff like that. And now you're comfortable, and now you're not being ambitious enough to go, to the next level.
That's what I'm saying. Like even if it's a company, like if I have a worker, let's say she gets pregnant, like is she an asset or a liability to my company? If she's an asset, I'm gonna do my best to take care of her and make sure
Yeah, but why
she
is
gets her leave.
But why is she an asset?
Because she's adding to my company.
Because she's adding value to your company.
Yeah, she's adding value.
And she also feels the profit of that as well.
Yeah, and you gotta keep those people. But like when people are liabilities, where they're taking the value away and all that other stuff, that's when you gotta have a talk and be like, hey, look, you're taking the value away from the company. You're not doing your job right, or woo. And you can't have those people around because that shit is infectious.
True.
It's infectious, man. Like it'll touch the room, and you don't want that in any type of business or relationship, or because that's why a lot of relationships end. Somebody becomes a liability within the relationship.
Or somebody cheats.
They become a liability, and then you like, damn, this motherfucker bringing me down. I ain't see it for 32 years. How long y'all been together? You see people get divorced after 30 years of marriage. I say, damn, you been a liability for 30 years. Motherfucker, I'm gone.
Well, they were an asset at one point, then they turned into a liability.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
Oh, they probably never were an asset. They just looked past it.
Yeah.
True. Because they kept him happy going back to he said.
They turned them soft. Exactly.
There was something I wanted to say when we were talking about the racism shit, and I'm trying to think of it, and I forgot.
Oh man, I got a good time. Hey,
One more topic.
I want to talk about Mitch McConnell. I'm like, at what age, bruh? Is this like senior citizen abuse? This man had 2 strokes or seizures on live TV. The lady had to, hey, they asked you a question, Mitch. That man belongs in a care home. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
I don't know anything about this.
Bruh, why are they forcing this man to, he's basically the one that signs off on like clearing the student loans and stuff. And I'm like, this man he's 81 years old. He's had 2 seizures on live TV where he just like, they ask him, so Mitch, what do you think about it? And Mitch McConnell just sitting there like,
Shut down.
and the lady is grounded. They asked you a question, Mitch. And what?
That robot. The robot shut down.
I looked at it like, ain't this abuse? Y'all making this man work. He 81, he tired. Like, they making this man work.
He like, but pecan.
Right.
But pecan.
Hey, Mitch ain't got dementia or something.
Butter pecan.
Like, hey, man. This man just sitting there like,
I didn't know nothing about
I'm
this.
like, look at that 81-year-old man that don't know where he at. God, dog. And then Joe Biden like 80. I'm like, run for another term. That's 4.
He's not. He will
man.
not be the next president of the United States of America. I know that for a fact.
That shit funny though.
Like you ain't got to throw that. You could throw that on a snip or something. But bro, Mitch McConnell, you gotta look it up.
I saw something, but I didn't click it.
He had another seizure on stage. I'm like, this man ain't fit for this.
Get him out of there.
You know what I was talking about the other day that kind of, and I've heard women say this a lot and it kind of irritates me, but like, you hear this question asked sometimes on like TikTok and it's just like, what's a toxic trait of yours? right? For that women have for men, and it's like that like being aggressive and no fighting, or if you see your man get knocked out, like it's like a turn off. And I remember having this conversation with a girl, and she's like that shit kind of like turns me on. It's like if my man like fights or like can like defend me on some shit like that, and I'm just like, one thing that kind of irritates me too is like when women have altercations, it's like it usually ends in like both parties walking away. And I feel like women don't understand. It's just like when men have an altercation, like if a man bumps into another man, it's like somebody will say they're like, my bad, right? Or if two women do it, it's just like they can bump into each other and like they like kind of lift each other up and down and like keep it moving. But I'm just like, y'all don't understand that like if that happens amongst two men, like there's going to be problems. And it's just like not all men is like trying to like fight unless you got like some anger issues on some shit. And like romanticizing like aggression amongst men to me is just like, I do not like that shit one bit.
It's weird too that's even a topic because you can't fight anymore. If you fight, someone's gonna sue you. If you fight, you're gonna go to jail. Someone's gonna shoot you. Like we used to be able to fight in the street, like after school. We'd be outside at 2:00 and fight, and then just be like, "Ah, you got me." You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna fight you. I lost, but I'm gonna get you next week. But you can't even fight anymore.
Right? A Lil Jon's son come on. He just want to fight.
That's different.
This girl, this person may be watching, and it's fine because we can like have this conversation. But there was one time I was with this girl, and I didn't see it, but out of the side of my eye, a guy had hit a girl, right? And I think I told Tim the story. This guy had hit a girl, and I didn't see it, and she like jogged over, right? She jogs over. I don't know why we're going over, but obviously as I'm on my way over, I'm following her, right? And I'm figuring out there's like a domestic violence thing going on. And I'm standing beside her, kind of like, you know, trying to stop the situation. She's doing most of the talking. I'm not talking. I'm just trying to keep this guy away from her. The girl I was with at the time was kind of like talking to the other girl and asking, "Are you okay? Like, do you need like help?" Like, and she's like, "No, this is my brother." For me and I feel like for our culture is mind your fucking business culture, right? Yeah. And like we kind of got like in an argument afterwards, and like I had to like check this man because I'm like, first of all, I'm keeping him at a distance. I don't know who this man is. He has a book bag on the sides that he's like trying to get to. He was trying to get to his book bag, and I kept like trying to push him away.
This is in Europe?
This is in Europe, right? And I actually grabbed this book bag and I threw it over the railing, right? And I was just like, "Bro, what are you doing?" He tried to get his book bag, and I was like, "Bro, just stay right here, like chill out." Like I was like, and the thing is, at the end of the day, they live together. So for me, it was just like, what are we doing here? Like, we gonna call the cops? Like I was like, at the end of the day, we could have just called the cops and had them handle the situation. For me, it's just like, bro, I'm not about to play this superhero. And like, what if I fucking die over altercation like this? It's just like, and I mean, like, I can see how somebody can see it on the other side, just like, do something. But it's like,
was he like continuously hitting her?
No. I didn't see. I saw like, by the time we were going over there, they were just like, they were both each other yelling at each other. But she saw like him hit her. Okay. Which I believe. How after we went over that, I believe that probably I'm sure that it did happen.
That's a slippery slope.
That's not a slippery.
It is a slippery slope.
I don't mind help. I think it's actually honorable if a man hits a girl in the street and stuff. People are watching like that. I think people should go and see if the woman is okay and see if they can. If I'm with my girl, because I explained it to her. I was like, if I'm with Dre and Tim, I'll go over there and help. I had that same conversation with, because I was like, it happened to me in Tokyo. We were in Tokyo, and there was a guy that ran on a train with a girl, and I had noticed it, and me and my homeboy was looking. We was having a conversation with somebody else. I was like, this looks kind of weird. Like, and he was like pressed up on her, right, on the train in Tokyo, and like next stop, we have a stop, and she like kind of runs, opens like one of the sliding doors, opens another sliding door to get to like the next cart. And he like follows. And at first we were just like, is that a couple or not? Right? So we were like, bro, there's something going on. So we get up and we follow, and we were like asking her, like, are you okay? And she was just like, no. Like at first she was like, oh, we was like on some, but like she kind of realized that we were trying to help her. So we get in front of the dude and we were like, hey, next stop, like get off. So she runs off the train, and then he's like trying to work around us. So we stand in front of him like, bro, you gonna stay on this train until like she gets off?
he manages to like. There were some other Japanese people that like told us to like get out of his way because he's obviously speaking Japanese to other people, and he manages to get off the train and like tries to chase her down. She was gone. Hopefully, I fucking hope to God that she got away.
Yeah.
But like we started like cussing out like some other people that allowed him to get off the train. But I'm just like, I was with my boys at the time, so like. I know you on the same time I'm on, we all together.
Right.
But like if I'm with my girl, it's just like, let's just call the cops.
Because I'm
like,
protecting you from a dangerous situation.
Yeah, it's not like anything. Now, if anything happens to you, like,
now I gotta protect you and
and
her.
like,
Yeah.
What if she stole his diamonds or something? And y'all blocking him. He like, she got my diamonds, bro.
Alright, bro.
They ain't know what the situation was.
Alright, bro.
But
no, if a girl's being continuously harmed, battered, people need to jump in.
100%.
If a man is being battered, people need to jump in and try to de-escalate the situation because there's too many stories of people having an altercation and people just watching and someone ends up dead. I don't care if it's police officers and shit like that. At the end of the day, numbers matter.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't
and we can overcome that.
I don't know if I would in another country.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times we're seen as the threat. And if we're there, the first thing that they might think is that like we some type of way we caused it.
No, it's gotta be
like it
has to be
good.
Yeah, but it has to be a certain situation. It can't be. I agree with you. It can't be like a very like singular exchange. If it was just him, the dude, the girl, and another girl, they'll come up and be like, "What happened?" And they'll be looking at you, I'm sure. But if it's a bunch of people trying to come champion or rescue somebody that's being harmed, they're not going to be like, "Oh, this black guy is in this situation."
Well,
he must be the.
One thing that I feel like black guys seem to forget nowadays is that you are black and shit is different.
Okay, but you're not listening. You're not.
I understand.
Taking the context into.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm like, when you're in a foreign country, especially Asia, like you do something like that, they're gonna look at you first.
Yeah. Do something like what?
Like they don't know what happened. The police or whoever coming to the scene. It's like old boy who was defending himself in China, and he ended up spending 4 years in prison.
He punched somebody's eye out.
Yeah, because 4 dudes was jumping him over being with one of the girls. He was defending himself in a restaurant.
What's his name? I don't want to even say that. But there was a dude in Japan that we was playing with, and he had hit his wife in the back of the head, like Bob tapped her in the back of the head, and he ran over and like grabbed this man and put him on the wall, right? He's an American putting a Japanese man on the wall, just like, hey, don't fucking like. And there was another guy that was that they were homies together, and he was translating for him, like, hey, bro, like he's saying like, don't do that, like. And I'm like, bro, I understand, like that's great, but like for me, and it gets deep for me because it's just like, bro, I don't know if I can do that as a black man in a country that's not mine, because at the end of the day. And like, this just may just be how I was raised. It's like, who's gonna get in trouble for that? Like, who's gonna get in trouble for that?
Yeah.
Who's gonna get in trouble for that?
I can honestly say, like, with me,
that may be trauma.
It depends for me.
No,
for
but
me,
I know what you're saying, and I have an issue with this.
But when it's domestic, I tend to not want to get into domestic disputes. I would rather say like call the cops or something, and have them handle it, because you never know that situation. But if it comes to like an old lady walking down the street or a child or something, I wouldn't hesitate.
Right.
But if it's like a domestic situation, I'm not going to get into that because a lot of times people who interfere with those situations end up getting killed.
Yeah, but there's a lot.
No, I know. There was one in Istanbul last year, something like that. Dude tried to run up on a guy that was like assaulting a girl in the street, and the dude pulled out a gun and started shooting the dudes at people that was trying to help.
Yeah.
Pulled out a gun and killed like 2 guys or something like that. I
understand.
I understand.
I gotta jump in, like, bro.
But and that's what I'm saying. There's some windows of opportunity that you see that are just like, okay, let's go take this opportunity to go help somebody.
And as a man, I have to assess the situation.
And as a man, you have to assess the situation, especially if you're with your girl, if you're with your children. You know what I'm saying?
And that's
True.
it. Tell me if I'm wrong.
True.
Because sometimes I feel like, sometimes even like looking back on the situation, I feel like, damn, like I should have just I shouldn't have even thought about it. I should have just jumped to go.
Well, I mean, if y'all out,
Like, 'cause even if I saw her, even if I were to see it, I don't know if I'd have just jumped to go help because I was with my girl,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And I feel like there's a part of me being like black that like also weighs into it too, where like I have to assess situations. I can't just act. Like I feel like I don't have the privilege of just acting.
Yeah.
Like, no, just go. Like, you know,
but
it's just like,
especially if you out, you had a couple drinks or whatever. Your girl probably had a couple drinks, and it's night. Everybody's out, and you see that same situation. It's like they probably drunk. Let the authorities handle that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we drunk, they drunk. Let that shit, because we not in no.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So like,
you're
that's
absolutely
the
right.
situation. Like, if it's broad daylight and you see the same scenario, and it's like these people clearly just okay. If you want to step in and be superhero, do that. But if y'all out at night and it's a situation where you had drinks and all that other stuff, leave that shit alone.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to die on the
Exactly too, because like sometimes the retaliation or even the helping gesture is what gets people locked up, because that person's like, oh, he attacked me, he assaulted me, she assaulted me.
Yeah.
You know, and then the authorities don't even really be doing their due diligence. They just want to get somebody.
Think
out.
about if you don't speak the language.
That too, yeah.
And then the girl that he with can turn on you and say,
Bro.
"Oh yeah, he just came and just started hitting us."
Bro,
I've seen that occurrence where it's just like now they both on like who, like I'm like,
Yeah,
what
bro.
the fuck?
Because a lot of times women who get abused, they're not gonna go against the dude that's abusing them.
Yeah,
True.
Go against you.
True. Why you mind your business, like you said, mind your business.
Yeah.
Well, depending on where you're at.
It's like,
I have a crazy, I don't know how connected this is, but I think it might be more like the race thing. So I was in Istanbul a few years back, my first year, and we were at this little bar, and the guys that I was with on the football team got into an altercation. But the altercation spilled out into like a really, really big situation where I was just like, I need to go find somebody. And I didn't have a phone to call the police. So I went outside, I went up the street, and military, you know how military is all through the city. And I approached an army man, and I'm trying to explain to him like what's going on. And when I'm talking to him, I look down and he has his hand on his gun. And I was just like, he's like, what? And in my mind, I'm just like, I'm literally trying to get help, and this man is about to shoot me.
those situations.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, he's like, what? And I'm just, I tried to, point him in the direction. And so I don't know. We just walked away. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you didn't even get him to come in.
No.
I ain't talking none I know what
Literally,
you're talking about.
I literally was just like, sir, hello, and this man has his, ready to freaking pop me.
You should have told him Metaba.
Yeah.
But I'm just
But it's crazy, man. You never know.
That's why I try to say, I try to, even if somebody wants to fight, all the stuff we went through in Poland and stuff like that, it's just like, if anybody try me, in my mind, I want to try to be like, nah, man, like, why? I'm not getting no notch on my belt for beating this little man up.
Yeah. For me, it's like, especially if I'm with my girl, it's my job is to protect you.
Word.
Right? And now, like, the dynamic is crazy because you're trying to protect this girl that I don't know. I'm trying to protect you. Now I feel like I have to protect both of you from this man. I don't know what he's about, right? And I'm not about to lose my life over.
And something happens to you, and the first thing that'll be said is, well, I didn't know. Or I didn't think that it would. And it's just like, well, I told you this would happen.
It's a crazy world we live in too, because just like you said, bro, like I've seen and heard of occurrences where it's just like somebody would just pull out a gun and it's over for you.
Yeah, I've
Just
had friends.
You didn't want to mind your business.
Right.
I saw a video the other day of like
too.
some guy saw white guy, and I may be wrong in saying this, but I feel like white people like are privileged with the action, right? But like, bro, it was a couple of guys. It was a couple of guys like breaking into a. It was a couple of guys like breaking into a car. They broke into the car, like they robbed the car. Some white guy comes over and says, "Hey," and they pull out a gun, start shooting at this man, and he's like, and he does a great maneuver. This nigga rolling and ducking on the ground like a boy's like getting shot. But I'm like, bro, mind your fucking business, bro. Mind your fucking. Who are you, nigga? You're not Superman.
That's crazy.
Let him rob.
I feel you, but that's crazy because
You gonna
it's
go
like,
over and try and stop somebody that's car is getting, bro? Unless it's my vehicle.
Get
Niggas
insurance.
had ski masks on too. I ain't fucking with no niggas that got ski masks.
they have ski masks
They had
on?
ski masks on.
I'm
Yeah.
out too.
I'm out.
Have insurance.
But you know, my thing is that's why it's hard for me because it's like mind your business, yes. And I'm more like an absolute dude, you know. But there's some situations where I'm just like, we can't just mind our business. We gotta help. We gotta do. We gotta try. But I agree with you 100% because
It's
even the
tough.
police, for example, all those murders that happened. I can't remember the guy's name. Sorry, but the dude in Staten Island that got choked out.
Yeah.
You know, it started the Black Lives Matter thing.
George Floyd.
George Floyd, rest in peace.
Okay, yeah. If I'm a cop,
But a cop wouldn't a cop have justification to like shoot somebody who was trying to like spread them apart?
What?
So everybody watching this man die, right?
yeah,
If civilians were to go help this man,
yeah,
right? Does a police officer
Yes.
have jurisdiction
yes, to subdue you.
to subdue you or harm you because he feels his life is in danger because
Yes.
you're trying to separate them?
But
And that's where like I'm
within the
just like,
Second Amendment, you have the right to bear arms versus the government too.
that's another story. But I'm saying
If they propose harm to you as well. That's the part of the Second Amendment like people really don't talk about.
yeah, but that would be the instance. So I'm here, George Floyd's here. There's a people trying to come and separate me as a police officer, and then I try to open fire. They could open fire back at me.
Yeah,
But then that's
That's
a
a
cold
crazy
messy
situation.
situation.
You know what's
Because-
great? A big thing for me is where am I at?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
if a domestic violence happens here in Fayetteville, I know this area. I'm like, I know this area and I live here. And for me, it's just like, there's not common occurrences of like people getting shot
Right.
or stabbed here. in
Yeah.
Fayetteville. So I feel comfortable like going up, no question, if I was with my girl or not, to go up and say something, right? But if I'm in London, or if I'm in America, or if I'm in like, so honestly, even if I'm in Japan or China, I'm hesitant. I'm going to assess that situation.
man.
First of all, I'm not from here, right? And I know sometimes people get down differently in London, and they'll pull up a whole machete on you, or just like
It's true.
you will get shot in America. You don't know who's strapped.
Bruh, that's why you mind your business.
Yeah, but that's
Unless
I feel bad
mind
when
your
I mind your business
business.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the whole mind your business can be like, damn, like
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm
you
saying
know?
is, if it's a couple, you know they arguing back and forth and fighting. They ain't got nothing to do with you.
if
you
he,
call the cops.
if he jaw her, bro.
Yeah.
If
If
he
she
jaws-
get up and jaw his ass back, like,
Well, like let's
Okay,
say
if they're going back and forth, I'm like, oh, y'all got it, whatever.
Yeah,
Boom.
they
I'm
going
saying,
back and
if
forth,
it's,
y'all got
if
it.
it's like clearly some old lady being robbed by some dude or some child trying to be abducted, I feel like you jump into those situations.
100%.
But domestic disputes, you let the cops handle that.
Yeah.
You let the cops handle that, man. Because all she gonna do is turn against you.
I would feel more comfortable if I living in America. If I feel more comfortable if I had one on me.
Well, you-
Nowadays, shit.
Nowadays, I would do it if I had one on me. I would feel comfortable like going up and be like, but like, bro, I'm not
But
going
I'm like-
unarmed.
But I'm like, if you
Da-da-da.
Yeah, like that. Literally, for that
if you in
music.
that like if I'm in a George Floyd situation and I'm a cop and I see that, I'm getting him up off it.
That's what, right. That's number one.
Cause I'm like, bro, what you doing?
That's number one, right. But they don't be doing that shit.
No.
Cops don't be doing that. They find everything that they do.
No, because a lot of them forget that they're
Human beings.
human and they're what you call it, civilians too.
Yeah.
Like once you take that stuff off, you're a civilian. So it's like remember now, because a lot of cops, I think cops were like 95% more likely to have spousal abuse Yeah, this was a statistic.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, you not breaking the law. So dang, you put me over for a tag light.
Imagine you with your girl, your European girl from Hungary, right? Y'all walk around, don't know why y'all doing that, but y'all walk around Chicago, you see a nigga, douche, like hit a girl, right? And she's just like trying to push him back, and he just keep trying to hit her, and your girl just like runs over, do something.
I'll be like,
Yo, what are you doing?
I'll be like,
What are you doing? I'm gonna snatch her by the collar, bro.
Word.
You know where we're at?
nope, that shit like throwing somebody in some water who don't know how to swim. I'm gonna be like,
But then, like, let's
And when
say
you
a
come back-
situation where like she dies and you didn't do anything.
That's
That's where it gets like.
I'll say, well, her ass tried to jump into action in Chicago, and I told her before we got
No,
here,
no, I'm
don't
saying
do
the
it.
girl dies and you didn't do anything.
I told her not to go over there.
No, I'm not saying the girl you're with. I'm saying the girl that you could have helped dies and you didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would stay with me consciously. That's
would
why I
stay
think
with
about
me?
that shit. That's why I think about that one situation with old girl all the time because I'm like, damn, like
Nah,
sometimes I feel like I had the wrong rationale. But sometimes and then I go back to it's like no, I'm not in a place that I'm familiar with. Like
It's tough.
nah.
It's tough.
It had nothing to do with me. That's not in my book. It's somebody else's story.
yeah.
So I'm just like, look, I remember I stayed in this apartment. I could hear the lady upstairs, like, there were two dope things. And I could hear one of them. Gee, the dude hit me. Damn. I'm like, I'm not going up there. Y'all stay off that shit. Stop smoking that shit. You want to be getting popped on.
Yo, she was yelling, damn.
Yeah, she was like, I hear, shut up, bitch. Damn. I'm like, I'm not going up there. Crazy ass. Y'all know them apartments off Beltline.
That's crazy.
Unless I'm Jason Bourne, bro, I'm not going up there.
Bro, I'm telling you, like,
unless I'm John Wick, not
it's certain,
going
bro.
up there.
It's certain situations, like domestic disputes. You just don't touch them. You let the police handle it.
Unless I'm the equalizer.
They can barely handle
Number
it.
3 coming out soon too.
Oh,
Bruh.
equalizer number 3? Talk to me.
They can barely
I'm
handle
gonna
that
take
shit.
some
The
notes.
police.
Jump into these domestic disputes, nigga.
Hell nah.
That's crazy.
I'll be like,
If y'all gonna have domestic disputes, do that shit at home.
right. Don't be all up in the street, throw his clothes out the house.
It's crazy.
Why?
This
I'm not condoning.
What did you just say?
I'm not condoning domestic violence. Let me just tell you guys one time. All right. I'm not condoning domestic violence, but
You may just want to say don't do it. How about
don't
you say
don't do it. And on top of that,
Don't say the second part. Just leave it at that, nigga. This nigga said,
This is
understand that other people want to help the person in need. Okay, so if you don't want that problem, don't do it.
cut.
I'm just
And
saying.
that's it. That's it. Don't
Why
add nothing.
why you gonna come to blows with your significant other anyway?
That's a totally different conversation.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. So that's domestic dispute. Domestic violence.
Affirmations.
Affirmations.
What we got for affirmations?
Shit is ugly.
Mind your business.
Mind your goddamn motherfucking.
Mind your business.
I think I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back on what I said last week. Do not forget. I'm gonna redo my affirmation. Do not forget that you are inspiring the next man. Because
yes.
I just talked to my boy Gagger last night. He's actually in Virginia right now, in Blackstone, Virginia, playing for high school his senior year. He had like a couple sacks his first game, a touchdown. He hit this one on the celly.
Shout out to Gagger
Shout out to
doing his
Gagger.
thing.
Shout out to Hootie.
Mm-hmm.
But like bro, I look at myself as his mentor, but that kid inspired me. He would probably have no idea that he's an inspiration to somebody like me, but like that kid inspires me to work harder for the junior athletes that I work with now. That like shit like that, the shit that Balin's doing, Balin Rendashi, that shit gives me inspiration to keep working. Shout out to Balin, shout out to Gagger, keep giving me inspiration and keep inspiring the youth. Y'all keep inspiring the youth, keep doing what y'all are doing. But yeah, and go chase your dreams.
Definitely.
Chase your dreams, keep inspiring the next man.
That's a great one. That's a great one. My affirmation for the day is it's probably along the lines of what you said too. Just be great. Don't be afraid to be great. I think a lot of people nowadays, they don't want to step on someone's toes, or they don't want to ruffle feathers. They don't want to shake up the system. But there's no revolution. There's no new ideas. There's no new products. There's no new vibes unless someone goes out there and dares to be different, dares to be great. So if you have an idea, if you have a feeling, if you have a song lyric, if you have a freaking, something to write that's inspiring, go do it, go share it, shine your light, and it's definitely going to not only motivate you more to continue to be great, but most definitely inspire somebody else to be great too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Shit. Woo! What can I leave y'all with? Just be yourself. Like, it's too many people walking around acting like there's something else that they're not. Just be yourself and you'll get more respect. Be yourself. That's all I got to leave y'all with. Like, too many actors out here and not enough people that are genuine, and and the same people that are acting, they don't want the best for you. They want the best for themselves. That's why they're acting. They're acting like there's someone else in your life. But the genuine people, So just be yourself and people will respect you more.
Yes, sir.
Once again, thanks again for listening, guys. Like, subscribe, share, comment.
Come up with a nickname.
Subscribe.
Big.
Subscribe.
We need a nickname for Jay. All right. Write your ideas in the comment section and we'll pick one, and then we will have that being said on the next episode. Tune in.
Yeah, the best one.
The best one we'll have Jay. You gonna keep it, or you just gonna have
No.
it for the next episode?
We'll have to wait. I have to assess.
We'll assess. We'll take a few. We'll name you, and then maybe after next month we'll stick one to you. You'll have one for the autograph. Again, it's 3 Black Mics.
What is it? Why did you laughing?
I was about to say some shit. Sorry, y'all. Go ahead.
Say it.
Don't say it. Jay gonna jump over here.
You about to say a nickname.
Yeah. Once again, it's the 3 Black Mics.
Pause.
All right. Thanks for watching again, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Hey, man, I want to talk about.
Oh,
Talk about it next time.
behind the scenes.